The next step on the module project is preparing the space and cutting the wood. So let's get started with this right now. Hi, I'm Tom Kovichak, and this is Tom's Trains and Things. On this module project, we are going to be putting this in the living room. This video covers a 2-week period. There was a gap in there about a week where we had to go out of town, and so we came back and finished up on what we were doing, but we ran into a bunch of rain, so the part of cutting the wood took a while because it rained almost every day. So here's what we got. Earlier this week, I picked up some of the rest of the lumber, the plywood at Home Depot, and you can see it right here. I had it cut up into, let me get a better light on it, two 2x6 pieces and one 2x4 piece. And then earlier, I got my 1x4s and my 2x2s. I don't know if you can see them that well there, but that's where they are. But it's all going to go along this wall here. I may have to take all that art down, but I think I got, let me see, it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. I got about 17 feet right there from my feet right here, all the way back. But you see this over here. This might give me a little bit more room if I go this way. I start back here and use up that whole wall right there. And then that'll give me the opportunity to come across this wall to add another module. So I could use up both 6-foot modules, the 4-foot module, and then I'll have, let me see, 2 foot there, 3, 6, I have another 6 foot on that wall before I get to the slider right there. So that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so that's quite a bit right here. The only thing is that's where the cable comes in on that right there. There's no way I could change that unless I call Comcast out and have my box over there on the TV moved, because that's where I have this cable going over to there. That's where my router is. I have other receptacles, but they charge you to come out and move them. And I don't want to get into that expense here, since I may have to pay another $50 just to get the unlimited streaming. I have to cut the 1x4s so I can make a frame for at least, I'm going to start out with one of the 2x6s. I have an old table, one of those folding tables, a 6-foot table, and I might just set that on there while I start out. Not sure if I want to attach it to the wall. I just may just want to have it freestanding, because I may want to move it someplace. So that's what I'm working on. Well, we just got back from breakfast and stopping off at the doctor's office, and I was going to cut the wood. Been waiting for the past couple of days, but right now it just started raining, and we're supposed to be getting some thunder showers that will last about 3 hours. So that's what it's been like for the past few days. We've been getting the thunder showers, and they lasted pretty long. So maybe out on a lanai today. We finally decided to move everything on the other side because that gave us a little bit more room.
Well, that bookcase right there, I almost got Debbie talked into moving that out of there so we could put this one piece of right here, 2x4 would fit across in there perfectly, and then this would go on the back wall over there. She's thinking about it. That would look perfect there. And this is my table from 1987. I had my first computer on there when I had my business. So I had that in my living room. I had a dining room chair as my office chair. And I had an old Epson dot matrix printer that had the holes on the side of the paper. And I did my invoices with that. Very crude. It was in DOS. Well, we went and done it. The bookcase is gone. And so we get to use that corner back there. And the bookcase is now back in this corner. And probably when I get out to 12 foot, I'm going to have to move it again. Don't tell Deb. Oh, she's right there. Forgot. Well, now that I got all this stuff up here, I could see that the bottom sheet is about an 1/8 inch wider. Okay, I got this, and maybe it's a 1/16 inch shorter. Yeah, because this is flush over here. And so they're not exactly the same size. And when I measured this one here, this is cut crooked also. So their jig at Home Depot wasn't exactly square. So I'm a little bit off. I'm about 1/16 of an inch off on all three pieces. So I'll have to deal with that and figure it out later. But right now I'm getting ready to cut my 1x4s. I have everything set up. When I made my first measurement, I said, oh, that's not right. So I put everything together to see what they look like, and that's what I come up with. So I'm going to have to deal with that. I got everything out of the way. I got my little light up there. So I'm going to take the saw outside and cut my 1x4s. I'm going to cut the lengths and the two end pieces, but I'm not going to do anything with the center. The center brace is coming this way because I'm not going to, I'll cut them, but I'm not going to install them on there, because once I get the track plan on here, then I'll be able to determine where I have to put the switch machine underneath. So I'm going to be using servos on there, so I want to make sure that the braces aren't in the way when I do that. And this actually fits pretty good in this space. Actually, the space is a little bit over 2 foot by 4 foot on both dimensions, so that worked out pretty good. So that's my 2 by 4 foot piece. So it looks like I got about maybe 26 inches right there. I got all the furniture moved and got the bookcase back over here in this corner now. And I had to leave it out from the wall a little bit because I have a receptacle back there. And judging by these squares, the towels are 18 inches. So I got 3, 6, 9, 12, maybe 13 foot from right here to the bookcase. And so I got maybe 13.5 foot altogether. So not counting that right there. So we're in good shape. So I got some extra room in there. And so this one is going to go across here, the 2x4, and then I'll have a 2x6 and then another 2x6 over there. And then once we get finished with that, we'll see where we can go from there. Maybe come around all the way back to there. Because there was so much rain, I decided to set everything up in the lanai to cut the wood. So this is what you see right here. I just finished up cutting. I used 3 pieces. That's what's left of the 3rd piece. And that'll be some extra stuff right there. So I got my pieces cut right here. I'll just have to put them together. And like I said before, I won't put the center braces in because I have to determine where the servos will be mounted underneath. So we're ready to start assembling the frame for this. And when you're not reading the books, they're a good way to prop up the far end of the lumber. We had a few hiccups along the way where the panels that the Home Depot cut were not square, but we got around that. The next step on this is assembling the base, and I'll be doing that today. Once I get that done, I'll be able to set it up on that table, put the paper out.
I got all my kits and the models that I want to use on that, and I'll just play around with them, put them on the space for the models. For the kits, I'll just draw it on there. Hopefully they have the dimensions of the kits. If not, I'll have to determine what those are. But that's the next step of drawing everything out so I can finally get the ideas that I have from my track plans that I found and incorporate that into the module. Now you'll notice that I have that extra 2x4 module that I'm going to put perpendicular to the first one, so we're going to have to work on that too, and I'll have to cut the lumber for that, but we'll get into that also. So I just ordered the mounts for the servos today. They were out of stock, and I contacted Iowa Scaled Engineering, and they says that they'll have them ready in about a week. So it'll probably be about 2 weeks before I get the servos, but the servo mounts, but that'll be all right because I'm not ready to do that yet, but at least I know that I have them coming. There's a few more buildings that I need to get. Like I said before, I need an ice house and an ice platform, and we're going to a train show in the Villages, not this weekend, but the weekend after that, so maybe I'll be able to find something there. So until the next time, we'll see you.